On today's child seat review segment, we're taking a look at the 2015 Nissan Murano. This is a Graco Classic Ride 50 child seat, which is suitable for forward or rearward facing installation and children between 4 and 50 pounds. Like the previous generation Nissan Murano, this is a 5-passenger crossover vehicle. It's a relatively large crossover, but it still only has 2 rows. In terms of overall size, the Murano is more similar to the Toyota Venza, the Ford Edge, and the Hyundai Santa Fe Sport than something along the lines of a Pathfinder, a Pilot, or a Highlander. I suppose you could also compare the Murano to the Jeep Grand Cherokee because it is a 5-passenger SUV as well. However, the Grand Cherokee has a very off-road focused mission, and the Murano is more of an on-road focused crossover. As always, the first step is up front. I'm going to move this passenger seat till I have about an inch of room between my knees and the dashboard. Now, the shape of the dashboard in the Murano is a little bit different than some of those other crossovers out there because this dashboard comes a little bit closer to the passenger area. It feels a little bit larger and a little bit bulkier than some of the competition. I'm also going to raise the seat back up a little bit because I do prefer to sit in a more upright position. An important thing to keep in mind about the Murano is that this passenger seat is not as adjustable as the driver's seat. Thanks to the generous dimensions we get in the Murano, I had no problems fitting a rearward-facing child seat here. As you can see, I still have a decent amount of room between the front seat and this child seat. We are at the proper angle as indicated by the little ball in the raceway, but the seat would move a little bit further rearward if it was actually strapped in. That's really the benefit you get jumping up from the Nissan Rogue to the Nissan Murano, is greatly improved rear passenger accommodations. Now, the Rogue is available in a 7-passenger model, which is very unique, but the rear compartment is smaller than the Murano. In fact, you'll actually get a little bit more room back here in the second row than you will in a variety of 3-row SUVs. In addition to increased legroom versus a compact crossover vehicle, the Murano also has a wider rear bench seat, and we have a wider cross section right over here by my head. That means that it's a little bit more comfortable for an adult to sit next to 2 child seats. When it comes to anchor points, we have 2 latch anchors, one for each of the outboard seating positions. The center seat would have to use the lap and shoulder belt. Now, that lap and shoulder belt does come out of the ceiling right here, as you can see. That's not my preferred position for a lap and shoulder belt if you're going to use it to install a child seat. The reason is because that can actually cause this child seat to torque a little bit over to one side or the other, causing it to be a little bit less comfortable for an adult to sit next to it. It's important to always use the top tether anchor. Not only will that help to try and center the seat a little bit more, but also improves safety. Thanks to the width and the overall height of the Murano, I had no problem sitting upright right here behind the driver. I do have an adequate amount of headroom, even though we're in the model with the panoramic sunroof. When it comes to my 3-across child seat test, the Murano has no problem swallowing these 3 Graco Classic Ride 50 seats. These are a very average seat in terms of overall dimensions, so wider seats may have a little bit more of a problem fitting back here. But as this goes, I have about 3 inches of room right over here between the child seat and the door. That's important because you want to leave enough room between the child seat and the side of the vehicle in case you have a side impact accident, because the side curtain airbag needs somewhere to deploy. The main reason for buying a large 2-row crossover like the Murano over a compact 2-row crossover obviously is cargo room. That's very true in the Murano as well. We have a much larger cargo compartment back here than you'll find in something like a RAV4 or a CRV. Even though I didn't exactly stack these child seats in a neat fashion in the cargo area, I very easily fit all 3 of them back here, a computer bag, some additional luggage, a 24-inch roller bag, and a 26-inch roller bag. You're going to get very similar cargo capacity in most of the competition for the Murano. Now, Jeep's Grand Cherokee has a little bit less room back here, primarily because of the approach and departure angles that vehicle has. We have some additional storage right under this cargo load floor, even though we do have a temporary spare tire under there. Thanks for taking the time to check out this review. Again, I'm Alex Dykes, and this has been the 2015 Nissan Murano. Go ahead and click that subscribe banner at the bottom of the screen so you can be updated on all of my latest videos. You can also find me over at facebook.com/AlexNautos, over at Twitter as AlexNautos, and you can email your questions to alex@alexandautos.com. I'll see you next week.